Welcome to another edition. Here we are. It's the Croc Fest. See what we got here. Motley Croc, Thursday. What is it? The 19th, the 18th, the 20th. It's the 19th already. Behind the scenes, as always, we have the Manic Satanic. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
How you doing?
What's up, Jeff? And it's a Croctoberfest in some parts of the world, I was reading. Croctoberfest.
Croctoberfest.
That's what they tell me. We coming through okay? Can you hear us?
What's that?
Can you hear us okay?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I want to make sure the mic's set up properly this time. But sometimes, we run into some crazy shit. Anyways, I was it's called have you ever heard of Schilling's hard cider? Grapefruit and chill. Have you ever heard of this, Jeff?
No, but it sounds good. Grapefruit.
Look at that. It's got a flamingo on it, dude. A couple little palm trees.
Nice. Good stuff.
I'm getting ready to bust it open. We got to try it real quick before we get into some wild shit.
I do like some cider.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's got a bite. That's enough to make your head sweat, young boy.
Nice.
Let's see what we got. Beginner's Guide. What's up? Guys, are you coming on at 7:58? No, we come on at 8 o'clock. Michelle, what's going on? Judy, how are you? Man.
Michelle, hey, Judy. Hey,
yeah, we're 2 minutes into the hour. We're waiting on Bumblebee Tuna. We'll see if she shows up soon. And Jimmy may not make it tonight. He's on an 11-day show. So what's up, Sean? How you doing? We're going to get into Mr. Sean, some stuff with him too here. He's been working crazy on his house over there. It's insane. He's done a great job. But Jimmy's on an 11-day show. I believe Ocala. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I think so. And he said he may pop in if he can, but he's on the beginning day of his 11-day stretch. So he said he would try to reach out and touch someone. So we'll talk about some stuff here today. Craig Warren sent me the world's or the oldest turd, I think they have.
Oldest petrified turd.
Yeah. They said by a Viking, Jeff. In your opinion, being in the hospital, they said this was 8 inches long and 2 inches wide.
2 inches wide or 2 inches circumference?
And circumference, like in circumference.
So that's
8 inches length.
Super wide. That's about that.
Right.
And then 8 inches. Hold on. Yeah, that's about that.
Yeah. Ha ha! What's up, Bumblebee Tuna?
They
found it. It said this is the largest fossilized human turd ever found. It belonged to a
What the fudge did I come into?
It's in England. It's actually on display in England. It said it belonged to and it's valued at 39,000 euros, I think it says here.
So that's about $75,000.
That it was they've been able to from the deposit blah blah likely lived blah blah. It's not that exciting. Indeed, it was found. It was full of whipworm and mawworm eggs. The Viking often must have an upset stomach, probably a lot of gastrointestinal problems. So it was found. It's in England. It resides. Its resting place resides. They're proud to say the turd's final resting place is in a virtual workshop in where's that? England, right? York, England, at the Jorvik Viking Center in York, England. It's kind of cool. Some construction workers found it when they dug it up, but it's really big and brown.
Well, it's Viking, huh? They have like spikes coming out of it, or
I guess because of the era, it was 9 AD is when it was laid.
Wow,
laid to rest.
Was it so bad that it actually still smells?
I think it's more like a rock.
It looks like a deer.
Yeah, Michelle said some idiot dropped it. Yes, they said some members of the museum there dropped it, fell into 3 pieces. They super glued it back together and put it back on display. Now, finding fossilized doo-doo in Brittany's verbiage, like a thing. Like there's like alligator poop that's fossilized here in Florida. They found like megalodon dumps. Looks like big rocks. I'm waiting for them to find like a log about that big so I can get it for Brittany and prove that giants were real.
You don't have to prove it to me. I believe giants are real. I don't need.
No, but we can finally prove it.
Sure. I'm just saying I don't need poop. I'm good. I'm not gonna put a piece of poop up in my office.
Listen, if somebody found a piece of giant poop, you wouldn't put it up?
No. It's not. Even if it was Sasquatch poop. I wouldn't. No, I just said that.
Poop, you'd have it under a glass.
No, Brittany. No, if they would have said this is Gigantopithecus and it was in a glass box, and it was one of the last ones laid, and it was like a frog skull or like that, you'd put it up.
I would not put any kind of
you
feces
would.
in my office. No.
What's up, Jim?
There are so many other things that we could like have on display in an office.
If it was
obviously not poop.
It's a part of Sasquatch history.
If it was Elvis's, you'd have it in a sandwich bag.
Not even Elvis's poop. I don't want anybody's feces anywhere near my stuff.
I don't buy this.
No, I wouldn't, Judy.
Up for auction. I think you'd be like, yeah.
Yep, you probably would. Even her own mother said it, dude. You seen that?
Poop.
You can have it tested for peanut butter and bananas. You can experiment on it, make sure it's legitimate.
Disgusting. No, I know I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
Right? Peanut butter, bananas, and
barbecue. No, that's just
Forest Cat. They are known to swim and be on Vulcan ships.
No, so gross.
Awesome.
I did get these awesome. Speaking of Bigfoot, I did get these. I think these are really rad. They're coasters.
Nice.
Are they made out of real Bigfoot turd?
No.
Yeah, they're made out of urate. They're white.
That's true.
No, but they are really cool. The company that made them is called youbigape.com.
You what?
You Big Ape.
They're just tiles, right? Just flooring tiles?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They're flooring tiles with the and they're and then they just put the imprinted image on them and they sell them as coasters. I mean, it's pretty brilliant. They're cute. I like them.
No, I like them too. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any new Sasquatch movies or anything coming out that we should know?
Not currently, no. Not that I'm aware of.
I did see that
there's a ton, but
they were redoing Willy Wonka.
They are doing
the origins of Willy Wonka.
They are, yep. I'm waiting for Harry and the Hendersons.
I was going to say Harry and the Hendersons. Wasn't that the most historically accurate Bigfoot movie so far?
Yeah. Yep, it was.
Based on a true story.
Who was that with John Lithgow?
Yep, John
Lithgow. It was so good.
Yeah, that was an old movie. That was a good movie.
I still watch it. I it's on my Amazon Prime, so I watch it. I love it.
I wonder why they don't do like something else to that. Make another one.
They should.
I don't know. They should. Yeah. I think it'd be great. I think it'd have to be done right, but I think it'd be super cool if they would. Like I would watch it in a heartbeat because I loved in the end, like when he goes into the forest and they're all, which I still cry to this day every time I watch it. It's so I'm such a sap when I see the ending. But like when he goes down to the ending and like they all start like coming out from the woods, like they're from the trees, like you didn't see him there before. It's the coolest ending to the movie.
I was giggling at Jim's.
Oh God!
What's up?
What did Jim?
Yeah, Jim. Only if it had Scully's fingerprints in it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, I wouldn't. So ridiculous.
The truth is in there.
Yeah.
So gross.
I don't think I would buy it though.
Like Craig. Harry and the Hendersons was like.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I like when he would put his head out the window and scream like a cop car. You remember that? He like, and they would go flying across the bridge.
Oh,
yeah, that was a very good movie. I just wonder if there's any other good stuff. There's a lot of them coming out. What's up, Darshana? Mm-hmm. What's up, Seth? How you doing, buddy?
Seth, what's up, man?
Hey, Seth.
A bunch of new ones. So
there's a lot of alien movies that are coming out, like a ton. And Tom DeLonge made one, which actually looks really good. And Tom DeLonge's into all supernatural. So it's actually it was written and produced and directed by him, and it's called Monsters of California. And like this kid finds out after his dad.
I don't understand what's it.
Huh?
What?
No, not. I know what you're saying. No, but he kind of made it like they're skate park kids, and then the one kid's dad who passed away, he's like going through his dad's stuff, and he finds out his dad was an agent for the government and dealt with all like the supernatural, from aliens to Bigfoot to like all these really cool. So he starts trying to figure out what his dad did, and it like starts uncovering all these really cool things, like from hauntings to Bigfoot to. It's a really interesting, like tripped out movie, but I thought it was interesting.
Have to check it out for sure.
That's Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, because he did To the Stars, the first funded program for.
Yeah, like Supernatural.
Yeah, but he To the Stars was his first big deep dive into the UFO community space. And with that, he got in with Lou Elizondo, who's another representative from the government who worked for the Pentagon. And they started the original beginning push, as well as like Jeremy Corbell and stuff, for disclosure. So like Tom DeLonge was heavily involved in it. And a lot of people didn't know that because he was just the guitarist from Blink-182 or whatever. And so they were just like, what is Tom DeLonge doing? And it's like, he was very invested. So if you look up the website To the Stars, that's Tom's website. It's pretty cool stuff. And he's a pretty cool guy, pretty down to earth.
Is there any truth to the rumor, Brittany, that you are in fact Supergirl? Because I think you left your cape on the door there.
I'm gonna do a Trump hand move here. Look, I'm not saying.
I thought his hand move was more of a.
But have you ever seen us in the same room together? That's all I'm gonna say. Have you ever seen?
I have not. I have not.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Then again, I haven't seen you and Trump in the same room either. So.
Wait, it would have to be like.
Although I did eat a bag of Cheetos the other night, so it kind of reminded me of
Cheetos.
That was good, Brittany.
Yeah, thanks.
That was good. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff coming up, and I always know that they always like right around Christmas or the holidays they like release really good movies, and it's always something to really get into. I like it anyways, and just to kind of get away from it. Since what are we going into? We're ending in November 1st now. It was like 2 Saturdays ago, and now we're going to end. The world's going into World War III and nuclear warfare. And
yeah, they keep pushing it forward.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that TikTok knows that before the military, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's sounds like we're looking into some more crazy shit again.
Yeah.
I don't
we talked about Friday the 13th last week. Did we talk about that at all last week with all the on the Tampa neighborhood forum and stuff? People saying that they wouldn't send their kids to school on Friday the 13th. I mean, it's ridiculousness.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm so tired of like the TikTok's the worst. It is the worst for fear agenda and like fake news. You want to talk a place to find fake news? Oh my God, it's the worst. The freaking worst. I'm like never on TikTok. Like I can't stand it because every time I flip through it, it's like depressing. I should go like just say I'm gonna go live in a mountain and wait for God to come. Like, because this is the end of the world.
I like how
what the
if you remember,
don't live like this.
You really shouldn't make fun of anything, but my God, every time you come on, they're standing by someone else. We're standing by Ukraine. I stand by Israel. I stand by the Palestinians.
Oh, dude,
it's like you don't stand by shit. Shut the fuck up.
Stand by me.
Weird little young people that are either strippers or work at a children's clothing store that they're going to stand up and they know what's going on.
That's because TikTok
hires them. It's like, I don't even look at that. I go, not interested, because I want to be out of that algorithm.
Yeah, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
We'll read something on TikTok and they're like, did you know that horses don't like being ridden in a new science study? Because some asshole made something up. Just like there's a great page about Disney, and they make shit up about Disney and they post it to see how it's
right, Judy.
Like Walt Disney World is not allowing anyone in without the vaccination, but you can get a $10 vaccination at the gate before you can enter. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, but it's fake.
I know, but people didn't know that. They're like, fuck Disney. Fuck those child fuckers. That's all they ever do. And it's like, what are you talking about, dude? It's a joke that they make stuff up like, oh, they're finally fixing the track at Yeti. Did you see that one?
I did.
People have died. It shows like people like bloody laying on the ground. They're like finally fixing it after 10 rides have been derailed. I'm like, oh my God. And there's like 350,000 people on that page, and it propels that. And that's exactly what they do. And I think it's great.
And if they build off it, that's the problem, is that, one day Disney is quote unquote a woke business, and the next day they have a secret underground layer where they sell children to the rich elite that they groom and they kidnap millions of children that nobody actually knows disappeared.
Arson's got it right. She said, I never signed up to TikTok. I'm of the view it's reducing people's capability to sit still or pay attention for more than 60 seconds, for people to research or think for themselves. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to start making random cool TikTok stuff, dude.
It's all about sound bites these days, 30-second sound bites, and that's what people
go
with their news. They hear something, and all of a sudden it's true. You know, there are people who are screaming, "Don't believe the government or the CDC or whoever else," but yet somebody writes something on Facebook and it's gospel all of a sudden that you know, it's just ridiculous. The stuff I hear at the hospital, I hear it all the time. You know, it's people tell me about, you know, oh, the government made me sick and they gave me COVID, or COVID doesn't exist. That's a big one. While people are dying, they refuse to admit that they're dying on their deathbed and silly shit, man.
Oh, COVID exists. It's out there. Can't really deny that. That's there.
COVID has existed since the 1960s. I don't know if you remember, but you could buy a can of fucking Lysol, and on the back it would say "Fight against the COVID," you know, COVID whatever.
Yeah,
COVID is a form of just it's a
SARS.
Yeah,
but it's a SARS virus.
Every time it mutates, they put a different number bracket on it. It's like coronavirus has been around forever. And it's coronavirus.
The flu and the common cold are both coronaviruses.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if we hadn't been, honestly, what's funny is there's so much bullshit, okay, that goes on out there that the world has to actually question their medical advisors, their police departments, their military, and their government, because so much garbage is out there now. You can't even just go, hey, I'd like to go to the doctor for this. But there's a shot for everything now. You notice that? A shot for everything. You get a shot for it now.
Yeah, so much stuff.
Protect yourself against lavender disorder. It's a new shot. May cause diarrhea, death, brain hemorrhaging, retarded children, etc.
Zombies.
Right.
God.
Yeah, if that doesn't work, they got a whole line.
Yeah, I mean.
Shit.
Sorry, Jim. See you later, Jim.
Later, Jim.
See you, Jim.
Battery's flat. Oh, that battery. I thought. Yeah. I mean, I'm taking the new COVID vaccine for whatever it's worth, because it ain't going to hurt me. So it's either going to help me or do nothing, just like the flu vaccine.
You know of. Bum, bum, bum. I said you
People say all the time that it's killing hundreds of thousands of people every day. I mean, honestly, who are these people? I don't see.
Honestly,
just like COVID killed all these imaginary people. Who are these people? Who are the imaginary people that died from that?
Yeah, but we all know people that died from COVID.
Yeah. You know, where are all they at? Like, you know, it's funny because they'll say, oh, well, you know, there's this many people. I'm thinking, you know, what 1% of the fucking whole United States is like. I mean, it's not even. They didn't even make that. They didn't even make that percentage. But all these death warrants and stuff.
Yeah, but over 1 million people. That's a lot of peeps
in the world.
That millions of people die from the vaccine, and it's just not true. It's, you know, the cases of things that people claim that the virus is causing are not higher than they were before the vaccine. Not the virus, the vaccine. You know, and all those things are also caused by the coronavirus, or that particular coronavirus, the novel coronavirus.
I think, you know, for me, it's, you know, we were all, because it was a new virus strand it was basically taking ravage on people, especially people that were older or people with bad immune systems and so forth. The thing that scared me the most from it is that we all became test dummies with the new vaccines, because they had to rush them out to the public to get them out to help people. And what scares me with that, and like even our sister who's a nurse, we've talked to her about it too, and she was like, you're right, you know, we don't know what the outcome is or what anything is it does to your body years down the road when you keep taking it multiple times. We don't know. We don't have, because it hasn't been tested long enough on enough studies with the way that they had to test certain ones. And so we're like, yeah, I get it. So for me, that's the part that gets me, is science can only back it to us an extent, because we don't have enough data to say for certain that in 10 to 20 years from now, we aren't going to have repercussions from certain effects that took place from the boosters or the vaccines, where we had plenty of time from historical backing with all.
And unfortunately,
from labs. I mean, that's just part of life. Sucks.
Not every hospital is on the up and up. Okay. It's all okay. And so they did catch hospitals saying death due to COVID complications. Like somebody was having a heart attack, but so many people under COVID, they missed him. So it was a COVID complication, and they collected money. And then when that got caught, then it made people skeptical again. And that's a problem. And that's a problem there. And that's a problem from who's ever running those medical facilities, because when people, but when people do that shit, it makes it hard. It makes it hard to you know, say, listen, you guys need to do this, or you guys need to do that, because, oh, yeah, well, you were pretending, and that's all you need. You need someone to do something stupid and be greedy. And that's it. It's stupid.
I mean, it sucks.
Those vaccines aren't new. They're not something that was come up with in 2020. They've been testing it for years because they were vaccines that were aimed toward different SARS viruses, which is a spontaneous acute respiratory syndrome. So,
but it was one. I think it was it Pfizer? Was it Pfizer? One of them was not properly tested on, or hadn't had enough proper testing with people with this virus.
But we needed them.
That's all I meant. Yeah, that's
they
what
weren't
I mean.
experimenting on this. They were trying to save us. So
no, I know. I'm saying it's just a risk. I'm saying that's the scary part, is the risk of it. That's all I'm saying.
The rewards far outweighed the risk. All the people that were saved due to that virus, and not so much people that didn't get COVID, but people that got COVID and their symptoms were mitigated because of the virus. Their immune system was already trained to attack that virus. So when the virus hit, that's pretty much what the mRNA.
I'm not a virus or a doctor, so I can't say. I have no idea.
It goes in to your cell, your perinuclear, so not into the nucleus, but in where your DNA is, but around the nucleus, and it trains your RNA to kick your immune system off to fight the virus, and then it disappears. There's no trace of that vaccine left in your body once it's done its job. It just flushes off. So
it's the same thing like the flu vaccines, right? You take them annually so that you can fight the flu, and then it moves on. Yeah.
Right. And the flu vaccines were actually the flu vaccines were actually are actually a little bit more, not risky, but they're a little bit less targeted because the flu strains mutate even faster than the COVID strains did. Right. So you might get a flu virus, and by the time that shot's in your arm, it may be completely obsolete because the virus is mutated to a point where that vaccine is no longer viable. Vaccines are smart. Which is why I hate when people are like, well, I had the COVID. People got the COVID vaccine and still got COVID because it mutates. The COVID vaccine works. When we had the first wave of COVID back in the beginning of 2020, it worked. It saved hundreds of thousands of people, probably millions, but then it mutated and we ended up with the Delta strain, which was the worst of the bunch. Delta was a nightmare. It was super contagious and super deadly. I agree, Dan. The flu is the worst. I've had COVID and the flu. I've had worse flus for sure. But I think that people it's a time when people need a demon. So the vaccine, the Republicans, the Democrats, Trump, Biden, they're all demons that people can look to come together and have some sort of common ground against something, because that's when people come together the most.
Yeah. I took the vaccine obviously because being that I just had a baby who was 6 months old, and I was sitting there going, I want to be there, and it's a risk that I was willing to take, no matter what the outcome was in the years from now, like they stated, what the future effects are, we don't know, but it'll help you right now, and so I was like, okay, and so it outweighed. Plus Troy was in the hospital at the time, so I was like, it outweighs it. And then when the boosters came around, I didn't do the boosters because I didn't necessarily need the boosters because I wasn't in a position where my job needed me to do these things. Now, however, John did take the boosters. He was required to get the boosters. And shortly after getting the boosters, exactly like 9 days to the day, he started having a bad rash reaction to where everything that touched his skin,
all lumpy.
He would start like having hives. And he went to the doctor, and then he went to another specialist that basically told him it came from the boosters, that it's going to have to, it probably won't leave him for like 6 years.
When just anytime you get a vaccine, you risk getting a little sick or uncomfortable or rashy, because what happens is it kicks your immune system in. So now your immune system's running. So the immune response is going to hype up the fever to kill off the virus.
Yeah. But this isn't just for just a week. He has it now for 6 years. Like the doctor told him.
Has the rash?
He's going to have it for up to 6 years now. That's the doctor told him that. It's unfortunately that was a side effect from that particular booster strand, and that it is happening to people.
I'll look into it for sure.
Yeah, it's like intense. And, like it's like he had a name for it too, and I'll get it from John and I'll text it to you, Jeff. But he literally like he's like, I'm really sorry. You literally have to take like a type of Benadryl or an allergic medicine
it's like a
daily.
histamine reaction, I imagine.
Yeah. But for 6 years, like the doctor's like, I'm sorry, this could take 6 to 7 years before it gets out of your system, like, or this could go away. So he's like still deals with it. Like cutting the yard, he comes in, all of his legs and like his watch, if he sweats, it's just red.
Yeah.
Like just
that's awful.
itchy,
Yeah, no,
like
that's
irritating,
terrible.
itchy. Yeah. And the
And there
doctor
are
told him
definitely side effects.
From
some worse than others. The really bad side effects were very uncommon. Things like Johnson & Johnson, they had 2 terrible bad cases of myocarditis where people died. And myocarditis is a side effect of a lot of vaccines, but it's also a very common side effect of the COVID virus. You know what I mean? The coronavirus. So it's such a double-edged sword because it's hard to know, was it the virus that caused it or the vaccine that caused it? And I'm not saying that the vaccine doesn't cause side effects and that it wasn't dangerous at all. I'm more saying that I feel like the benefits so far outweigh the bad. That people ask me, I tell them, I was like, I took it, my kids took it. And I did not take the last booster, but I am going to take this one because I feel like they're starting to and really trying to get ahead of the strains. Right now, we have a whole bunch of new strains that are making their way around. And then on top of that, we have RSV, which is a childhood disease, which is showing up in adults all the time. Now, I think I had RSV a few weeks ago with Ruby. And as well as the flu is making a comeback. They're on their 14th comeback tour. So they're making their way around too. So I've had a lot of kids lately because I work in the pediatric ER a lot that have had all 3. Flu, RSV, and COVID. And these kids are like, young, like babies.
RSV scares me so much in infants. Like anytime Finn would cough, like because he had collapsed lungs, I was like, it would freak me out. I'd always worry about RSV.
And RSV in infants is pretty common, but it's still a lot of times they get it because they were sick. That's usually where RSV happens. It can also happen from kids that are on ventilators and so on that are helped breathing. It's definitely it's a scary world, and medically there's so much shit out there probably that's yet to come that we got to brace ourselves for it instead of, everybody fighting each other. And, I can't tell you how sick it makes me when people are like, oh, I'm a pure blood. I'm like, that sounds awful, either vampirish or Nazi to me. Look online, look up people. Pure blood, people who haven't taken the vaccine.
I'm a pure blood.
Pure blood. Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I like how people just make up names for things. Like I just love how that's become a thing now, where we just make up names for things.
Right, and they want to help everybody, but still they call themselves pure blood to stand out. Like, look, I'm better than the people who have the vaccine. And I can't tell you how many people I saw on their deathbeds wishing and begging they had, what can you do to help me now? And I wish I had taken the vaccine.
I just got my line sitting fair. I just called and said, I'm probably going to die, and you need to get all my animals lined up, Mom. And she's like, I'm going to die. And it was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did, man.
I didn't ask anybody for shit. I just said, this is it, dude. You die when you die.
That's it. When it's your time, it's your time.
And it was bad.
Yep. Yeah, and that being said, if I take
it was interesting because it didn't work the way they said it did. So, like when they talk about it, like when you're listening to the media talk about it, how they said it was going to work, and this is happens, and this is happens. It was nothing like that. Let me tell you, nothing. Yeah, and it's interesting because I was already 6 days in, right, with no lung failure. Go to the hospital once. I come back. I have a heart problem. I go back again that night. They go, oh, we're going to go ahead and take you to such and such because we're concerned about your heart. I'm like, okay.
They want to quarantine you.
Right. I ended up getting to the hospital. I did not feel bad. Once I got my heart rate got settled down, I wasn't sick or feeling like I couldn't breathe or nauseous or any of that. Right. They run me up to this room with there's an AC unit, a vacuum unit. They're so loud you can't even hear.
Yeah, it's negative pressure.
I couldn't even hear. So they had to move my room because my dad's like, we got to send so I can't even hear him. So they moved me to another room, whatever. But that was like the third day I was in there. But the first day I was in there was like everything was stuck on me. I had needles between my fingers, my feet, in my arms, on the top of my hands, and they had something for my stomach. And so after they hooked me up, within an hour of all that stuff on me, I stopped breathing. I couldn't breathe anymore. It was very weird to me.
Did they intubate you, Troy?
And they pulled never. I never would let him. I said, I'm dying this way. You're not intubating me. You're not doing that. That guy you rolled me by out there that was fucking with his eyes taped and that shit, fucking, you're not doing that to me.
Oh yeah, that's all the being on the bench. There's a crap out.
I will stop breathing because there are pussies and they're not. I am not. I'll die like that. Not on my knees. I refuse that. So he said, "Oh well, we're gonna do this." What was cool was the doctors would come in like they were looking, or the nurses would come in to do stuff with me or whatever, like they were looking for ET. Right?
Yeah, they did. They had me on FaceTime.
They would wear nothing. The guy that looked at my heart wore nothing. The doctor came in, wore nothing, a shirt and a tie. Everybody else came out.
Darth Vader.
Spraying them. And the doctor's like, how you feeling today, Mr. I'm like, I'm pretty good. He's like, this thing in there, we're just going to keep trying to push this plastic thing. Keep blowing in it. Keep stretching your lungs. Okay.
Yep. That's an incentive thermometer.
And he didn't wear anything. I'm like, wow, these doctors don't wear anything, but the nurses are looking for aliens. It's weird. And so they're like, well, we're sorry. None of the medications is working for you and stuff. We're going to have to go get you plasma, but we're going to make sure you're not too far in, because if you're too far in, you're not going to qualify for it. So I laid there another day wondering if I was going to qualify for it, right? Like, okay, well, that's my last hope. Yeah. So am I going to qualify for it? Then they come in the room with this fucking box, and it's got all these little stickers on it, and they're like, we call this liquid gold because it's orange. It's going to be really cold, so you're going to start feeling it go through around your brain and all around your body or whatever. And it was like, when they pumped it, the doctor's like, and I'm going to sit here because we might have to flush you really fast, so we're going to put some drain.
Oh, I wonder if it was plasmapheresis.
I'm like, holy crap! All right, do it. They put that shit in me. It was like my whole body went, like I shivered a little because it like went through all my arteries, and when it got around my ears and behind my eyes, you could like feel that cold. It was really weird. And then it was like 6 hours of fucking hell, bro. Like I didn't want to live. Like I did not want to live. And I did call my mom on FaceTime. I go, I'm not going to make this. And I was fine. Mm-hmm. I think at that time she thought, wow, he's not coming back from that one. You know what I mean? And then at the end of that 6 hours, my body just completely was like, boom. It like started to turn around. I got hungry again. And it was like this war that went on with the plasma inside your body. It was like this war. I mean, this war. And they're like, but don't forget now, my body could not yawn or cough. It completely stopped.
Yeah, you couldn't clear. Yeah, I'm surprised.
I couldn't put you on. I couldn't yawn because my body never even attempted to or cough. So like, well, we're sorry. We're going to have to clear your lungs through your kidneys. We're going to use your kidneys to do it. I'm like, awesome. Yeah. So
your pH.
We did all that for the 6 hours or whatever, but it was just really interesting. And then I got the bill, and it was like $4 million, dude, for that whole thing. It was unreal.
Write them a check.
Well, they took care of it. Like, we got that covered. It's we're going to take care of that.
Nothing.
Okay. I just couldn't believe it was that much, and I'm thinking, what about these people who have insurance? Like, $4 million, dude. That's
the insurance pays for most of it, man. They pay their copay, and their.
It was interesting. Yeah, well, the government quote unquote paid for it because it was just a ride. I never got hit with it. They took care of it inside the hospital, but it was just like it was just weird because I'm thinking, God, dude, like I would create a virus to make myself immune from, right? Sure. So that I could to make money, because there was a lot of money made off that whole deal. A lot.
Yeah.
So when someone makes up a conspiracy theory like, well, viruses are created. We know viruses are created. I like how they tried to lie and tell everybody that gay people is what started AIDS too. Come on. Get out of here. Gay people didn't start that. That's just ridiculous. And it called the hate movement. And I remember it all. It was terrible, but
the 80s.
It was all money, dude. And they're like, well, now there's a cure for it. It's undetectable. Take this blue pill once a week. You're good. We got a new disease now. We got cancer.
But we think about them making money too. The hospitals probably lost money hand over fist during COVID because all these people died, and B,
and that's what they got some money off them bodies too, didn't they?
What, selling the bodies?
Insurance first, and then they drain it.
Yeah, but the bodies, when you died, it was you were paid, weren't you? Like if it there was some sort of reimbursable something. I don't know. I was reading about it.
Well, they got some money, but they for like a hospital like St. Joe's where I work, it's a not-for-profit hospital. So if you don't pay, you don't pay. You know, that's why we have people coming into the emergency room for dialysis at 3:00 every morning because it's free.
Wow.
Yeah, it happens every night. But
yet people run around and have to get insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
the insurance companies might have lost money too. You know who made money? Collection companies and bottom feeders like that made fucking money because
Amazon.
Oh, for sure, Amazon and Uber Eats. The Uber Eats driver was probably the best job to have, man. Because I probably ordered Uber Eats at least twice a day.
Yeah,
because I have asthma and everything else. I don't want to go to the supermarket.
If you could figure out how to make toilet paper,
so they gave
you
me
would have been a millionaire.
That was interesting. That toilet paper. To answer your question, Darcy, they gave me a steroid in my stomach, which would make my my organs inside kind of contract, and so the liquid would get absorbed from my lungs into my body, and then it would pull into my. The way they explained it was it would like contract and pull into your kidneys and then force it out. So it would leak out of my lungs, absorb into my body, and then my body would push it back in through my digestive, obviously into my kidneys. But it was like it was probably like it was weird because I had to continually. They had like 2 bags on me of fluid, and I had to keep drinking this like it was like a IV kind of fluid. You know, you kept going with whatever because they had to keep flushing, so they needed to keep you super hydrated. So it's like a half a gallon of black urine, pretty much like dark brown tea urine, probably every half hour, a half a gallon. It was like I would be talking, oh, I got to do this again, fill up this thing, and then they'd come in and they'd inject me, and it would just like my whole inside, you could feel it just start to. It would be like hurt, like you were dehydrated, hurt, and then it would catch back up again. It was a really interesting journey, to say the least. But that's how they do it. To answer that, they can do it that way too.
The kidneys are kind of the second line of defense for that. It's your lungs clear carbon dioxide, which keeps your pH from being acidotic, from going too low, and your kidneys either clear or hold on to your bicarbonate, which makes your pH go higher. So when your lungs can't clear your pH, your kidneys help by creating more bicarbonate, which pushes it up. So the whole point of like all medicine at the end of the day is you want to keep your body in a proper pH and what they call homeostasis, which is your body's normal state. And it's about, 7.35 to 7.45. Anything below that, you got too much acid. Anything above it, you're too alkaline. So the kidneys and the lungs are mechanisms that handle all that.
And alkalinity is a good thing to have too, to be level with your alkaline for sure.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be too alkaline though.
Right. I'm saying no, you want to be level. You want the right level alkaline.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, you want to be.
Find people with cancer, they have low alkaline levels. That's interesting to me too.
Oh yeah. Well, if you have a low if you have low alkalinity, that means your body's acidotic. So you're in a state, and that's what like people with diabetes.
You'd probably die, Michael. You'd probably die because they were like COVID. Like a lot of the fat people, they would die too. Like if they were big and fat, you're dead. I mean, you're dead. You're dead. That's another thing.
My computer's listening to me.
It's one thing to be somebody who's overweight slightly or a different body shape or a, whatever. But like they promote like this being big and fat is beautiful. It's terrible on your organs. Absolutely terrible on your organs.
Especially your lungs and your heart.
And to tell someone, if they tell you that, Barbie's pretty and you're an ugly because you're a chubby girl and you wear size 27. Well, listen, preaching that it's okay to look like that is wrong too, right? It's not okay to look like a plastic injected, super thin, special person because not everybody's built like that. There's short people, there's chubby people, there's awkwardly framed people, there's people who don't even have arms and legs. So we understand that there's a difference, but this promotion of obesity, it's okay to be big and beautiful. It's not though. It's really not. It's not fair to you or anybody around because, you become
from a standpoint, it's fine.
A burden on the system too. You're lazy and you get blood disease and you end up with this and your feet turn purple. It looks like big loaves of bread in your shoes. Like I see the people who buy like 3 sizes too big and unlace their shoes. It kind of rolls out on the floor. It's like, dude, and you look at their basket, right? Now they're diabetic and you look at their basket and and you're like, that your doctor told you not to do that, right? So the 5-gallon drum of ice cream, 14 bags of Doritos, 6 cases of M&Ms. What the heck is that?
My lunch.
You know what I'm saying? What the heck is
Yeah,
that?
I know what you're saying.
I guess someone goes, "Hey Jeff, you guys should probably not do this anymore because this is what it's doing to your lungs, right? In your career." And I'm like, "Well, fuck you, Jeff."
Yeah, no,
I don't care what you say. You're wrong because what I do is beautiful. And you're like, you're an idiot. You're dying. It doesn't matter how you look.
Yeah, but if they're dying, as long as they don't again put a burden on us, it's
they do because they always have a problem. Oh, I can't breathe. And then when someone needs to be in the hospital, these motherfuckers are in there milking it. I see it all the time.
Yeah, we get a lot of pickwick.
Or they wear a mask.
And people with bad breathing.
I like the way they wear a mask that they look like they just wiped their ass with, too. That's always makes me, oh, you're going to wear that mask. Would you pull it out of your underwear? Where'd you get that from? It's got dirt on it. Last night's Cheetos and some melted ice cream on the strap, but they're wearing it. And then we know that doesn't work, Jeff. Even you know that does not work.
What, masks?
The dirty one that you pull out of your pants.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
wear
it's not good
6
for you.
million times and you sneeze and fart and burp in and put it back on.
Surgical masks are good for maybe an hour or two before you have to change it out to another one. And they don't stop airborne or small droplet diseases, but they definitely help a little bit. It's a line of defense, but without a respirator.
So true. Even a vet will warn you when your dog is overweight, like, listen, you're giving it too many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at night. And so, like I said, make no mistake, because, people like to pick me apart because they do it. I've heard it a couple times this week, but I'll tell you, I'm not saying that people who look different or shape differently or it's ugly, but to be a huge obese person, dude, it's mainly on you for the most part. It's not due to health reasons. There are some, but the percentage wise, it's just McDonald's. And so, like I said before in the show, and I'll stand by it, McDonald's, because of your willingness to consume, kills more people every year than COVID does. I'm sorry. So, I mean,
now, yeah,
contributing factor. And so we don't even look at that. Right now, we're focused on that because we have people who talk about vaccines or not getting a vaccine or pure blood or this. They do that. They put that right in your face. And they're like, let them look at this and just keep feeding them that disgusting food that's killing them right there. Oh, and half the shit that's put in our food now in the United States, grocery store chains, are illegal in Europe. Illegal. Like they will not allow that for their people. There are some countries that are a little bit more strict in the way they act, whether they're socialist or communist, whatever you want to call them. But they also protect their people a little bit because they need them for taxes. We don't care about anybody here. Because if we cared, we would have a little more regulations on our food and so on and so forth, right? We would, wouldn't we?
Because the food industry's got more money than the government.
100%, Jeff. That is
it's about lobby and money and who's getting slipped. A little grease in their palm. That's what it all comes down to. The almighty dollar. You're
100%
can be bought and sold like nothing. Craig, I don't eat it much anymore either. Once in a great while, I'll have some McDonald's fries because they're so.
See, that's very good. That's interesting, and Darcy makes up a good point. She said, "I've been obese my adult life, and I've never eaten excessive junk food, but now I'm only learning in my 40s how I should be eating because they didn't teach people that back in the day." Remember, Jeff? Our meal groups were make sure you have meat, cheese, and milk. You remember that?
Yep. It was meat and cheeses,
and grain,
meat, dairy.
The pyramid. Remember the pyramid? They stopped teaching that.
And meat, dairy, grains, and was it sugars or whatever, like junk? I don't know.
Yes, and we are creating a lazy society, right? So I also agree with Jeff. I don't the government.
Right, Ashley, the old.
I give big business credit, and they are doing it. It is by design, and they know how to do it. Now there's Amazon.
Of course.
Kroger delivers your groceries to your house. When you support
Judy. Ridiculous.
When it starts happening, you become lazy. Well, what do? The kids are hungry, babe. Let's just drive through McDonald's, get them some. It's healthier to get them nuggets. That's not even real meat.
Well, it's cheaper too.
You
get supersized meals.
Exactly.
It's not even cheaper anymore, though. All that price has gone up.
Listen, first of all, I don't believe in organic. Right, that's crap too.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So I'll go to get bananas, say for my lemurs, which I grocery shop for my lemurs as if they're my children because I buy them produce. Okay, that's what I do. So if I go to Publix, they got bananas for 59 cents a pound. Or you can get the organic ones for $1.29 a pound with the blue strap around them. Yeah.
And they're smaller.
That's a fucking gimmick. They're like, oh, these look prettier. Wrap a blue thing on them and sell them for more. And who's going to stop that? Who's absolutely going to stop that? Nobody.
Of course, because people think it's better because it says organic. Today I was at Publix, actually. I stopped at Publix and I was going to buy bananas. And I'm like, looked at them like 69 cents a pound is pretty cheap, but like in 2020, when before COVID started, they were 29 cents a pound, for the same piece of fruit. And yeah, regular bananas are bigger, they last longer, and there's really no difference between those and organic, except they're grown without pesticides. It's a banana, it's got a skin on it. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly, dude. And that's funny, man. And like Darcy said, artificial sweeteners mean you aren't consuming sugar, but new research shows that they make you want more sweets. That
they absolutely do.
And it tricks your insulin to believe you're taking something sweet. See, so your mind is programmed to say it's taking something sweet. Now, I notice when I cut sugar out of my diet, sometimes I'll drink a zero soda instead of a whole one. I will shed fat off my body. I will.
That's
my body
point,
changes. Right? If I drank as many regular sodas as I do diets, like when I'm doing it too much, I'd have to go out and get those big guy underwears, the big ones with the 52-inch strap, around there, where my waist should be one of the legs. And it's like, you know what I mean? And so there is that too. And they don't teach you all that kind of stuff during the stuff. It's like, Craig, you need to watch Spoons Over Knives or Knives Over Forks on name. It's a good documentary on food and health.
Forks Over Knives. It's excellent.
I want to see that too. I've actually saw that come up as something I'd be interested in. Kind of like, what was it? Fat and Sick and Nearly Dead. You remember that?
That was a good show.
Remember that? Fat and Sick and Nearly Dead. Remember that whole? Did you ever watch it?
Made by a big fat man. So it's.
Remember that, Brittany?
Which one?
Wasn't that Michael Moore?
I was in the comments.
And then the one also the one about the guy. Remember, he only ate McDonald's for like 3 months or 6 months straight.
Oh, Supersize Me.
Remember that, Jeff? And he almost died. They were like, your body, but he's like, I feel addicted.
Supersize Me.
He would like wake up at night going, God, I want to go get one of those Cokes and a sandwich. Like, so there's additives to make you addicted to it. And you do know that there's still additives in Coca-Cola to make you want it more. And that's why people have been addicted to it forever.
Don't you guys remember that other show too, where they created, it was from fit to fat to fit, where they would take a really extreme fitness person who was like a coach or a trainer, and they would literally take them off of an actual healthy regimen of eating and proper nutrition and good, just normal, healthy exercise, and make them eat like McDonald's, Subway, Burger King, red meats every night, heavy starches, heavy carbs, and they would gain all this weight. And then they would make them have to learn what their clients have to go through physically, so that they learn to have a little more patience and understanding with their clients who want to change their life.
Yeah.
It's actually a really great. It was great for them to know what it's like when they say my joints are hurting. That's because you're not taking the proper vitamins anymore. You're not taking the proper nutrients from our foods, that like iron from spinach, like actual spinach right out of the ground. So it was fascinating for them to like learn all of these things that they allegedly were taught from their fitness training, that they shouldn't, like, they should understand and kind of have a little more patience with these people that didn't know any of this and are coming to them for help to get into better shape and be a better person. Yeah. So the process was really cool because it was just humbling.
When you give up, though, you give up. You know what I mean? Once you give up, you give up. You see those people.
It's a game.
It's hard. It's hard once you get, especially like me. I had lost so much weight before COVID. I was in the best shape of my entire life. I was working out all the time. And then, you get used to it, and then the habit breaks. And when I went past where I had started from before, I was like, oh man, now I got to go back to where I started from and then back to where I got to. So it's disheartening. It's easy to be discouraged. And and now I'm finally starting to take it off pretty fast. I've lost like 40 something pounds in the last year, maybe.
I've been at that level where I didn't want to take my clothes off before because I look like I'm not getting naked in the same room with you.
Dude, I'll get naked no matter what.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, it's also, you got to blame, sometimes you got to blame your partner too for lying to you, dude. Like, oh, you look beautiful.
Oh, without a doubt. I just.
They'll lie to you and tell you, oh, you're beautiful like that. It doesn't matter if your nipples are touching your belt, honey. You look beautiful. Oh, let me get those up. It's like, come on, man.
Well, we're both big guys, Troy.
On my forehead.
We can carry a lot more weight than somebody who's naturally skinny or small. One of the things with me is that we have big shoulders, big chests, big legs. So you can hold on to a lot more weight and make it look okay. you know, but some people they gain 10 pounds and they look like a whole different person.
For you, Darsh.
Bro, I remember when I got where I'm like, man, I'm uncomfortably overweight and I don't feel comfortable, you know, because know,
uncomfortable.
I've never been like this big. That's never happened, but I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm a little thick and trying to tie my shoe. And then I go to the store and I see these people that are 450 pounds and their girl's 450 pounds and the kids are 3 years old and they're 200 pounds. And I'm like, how does that work? I'm too tired of tying my shoe. How you got time to fuck?
Oh, that's the worst, dude. When you bend over to do something, you come up and you're out of breath.
Yeah, or you're like, I'm never buying these again. I can't. Or you're sitting there, you're trying not to be uncomfortable. You're like, pow, at the I mean, it's just, and you see this, and I wonder, and I know people are like, Troy, he's fucking always says shit. I say what the elephant in the room is. Doesn't anybody ever think about that stuff too? Like, why do they always have like 17 kids, dude? I'm telling you, it's the craziest shit. You'd be too tired, and then you have to chase them. You'd think they would get thin. Yep. I watched a guy walk up to the car today.
It's not easy, but it is easy.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And he asked for money, right? I'm starving. Oh, man. He's like, he's picking a few scabs off his face. I'm starving. And I'm like, yeah, right. He's not starving. Now, we're right next to a McDonald's, which if you're starving, it's better to die from a heart attack than starve to death on the street. So he gets the money from this car, and he goes past the McDonald's back into the woods to go buy that fucking little thingy there, dude. Think about that. He's telling everybody he's hungry. Or where's he going? He walked right past McDonald's, and half the time when you roll the window down, you want some food? Come on, I'll buy you food. No, man, no. I just need. I'm going to go over here and get a donut. Yeah, sure you are.
A vodka donut, maybe.
Yeah, and nobody feels. I don't feel bad, dude. I just don't feel bad because you put yourself there, dude.
You know what gets me is when I go to pick Ruby up at school.
Better them than me. That's what I say.
And they're like 200 or 300 pounds in the 6th grade, like just beyond obese.
It's horrible.
And normally they have obese parents and obese siblings, and they're taught that it's somehow hereditary.
Yes,
if you feed your kids right, hereditary or not, they're not going to gain the weight in the first place. Unless they have some kind of huge pituitary glandular thing, but that's
now. I want to be clear again. I'm not being insensitive. People who are overweight due to something they can't control, like they have thyroid cancer or they're on that steroid. I understand that stuff that gives you. That's different to me. I'm not talking about that, people. So make sure that later on when you hear that, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about just people not giving a fuck and just being lazy because they can be and not having any care about yourself.
Get the scooter all over.
I say it because I think it's crap because I have a theory and you may not agree with my theory and that's okay. They're like assholes. Everybody's got one, right? If you build, and when I use the word family, you build a family around yourself and you're just good to those people, right? And you don't hang out with garbage people or people that'll lie to you or stab you in the back. It doesn't matter how much money they make. It doesn't matter what they're doing. If you see that people are good and they're giving back to something, and I'm going to touch on that in a minute. You won't be out on the street picking your belly button asking for money. Because if something happened to Jeff and he needed somebody, I'm going to be there.
Of course.
If something happened to me and Brett and we were in a pickle, Jeff would be there, Brittany would be there. We don't have to be blood, man. We don't have to even see things the same way. We don't even have to agree. No, but we do know that we build that family. So that's I'm not going to be driving down the road and go, what the fuck, dude? That's Jeff over there. We're going to get him. We're going to scoop him up. He's not going to be there. So when you're there, it's because you're certain people that I know in my life, they continually do shit over and over again, and people give up on them. And then they end up that way, and that's on them. That's not a person with Down syndrome. That's not somebody who's mentally challenged. That's not somebody who's been fucked up from the military, just thrown out on the street. We're talking about just lazy people. This guy looked no older than me and Brett. He just didn't want to do anything. And he's just like, well, fuck it. I can stand there and get $5. I'll eat out of the garbage, and I can get my crack right there in the tree. And to him, that's good enough. But if you build a unity with your friends and your people, you won't end up that way because somebody will always be there for you. Always.
Well, there's a family you choose, the family you're born.
If you're a piece of shit, that's why you end up like that, because you are a piece of shit. And you don't care about your family, your friends, your children, or even your pets. And that's how I see it. And people may not like that, but that's exactly how I look at it. So
that's true, Darsha. That's true.
And you got to remember, people do that kind of stuff. So I'm not making fun of anyone that's like that. We can all change in a lot of ways, and none of us are perfect. I'm just saying that to propagate, it's okay to look like that. Or when somebody does something really ridiculous, like if you don't see it their way, you're a piece of shit, right? That's terrible too. and people act like that. And so there's all this different stuff out there. But if someone has an opinion that's different, it's just a bad thing. And I think that's just tell the truth of how you feel, man. Be honest with your people. I mean, really, shouldn't you?
No, I'm honest with my patients sometimes. They're like,
well, you are, and you're honest with your people. You're true to who you are, Jeff. You
absolutely. You know, I tell them
but
straight
that's
up.
how it
Like,
should
you
be.
don't do this, you're going to die. Period.
But you know, I mean, Jeff, if this was happening to you, if the tables were turned, you'd want someone to tell you that hard truth so that you'd wake up. You'd be like, "Oh crap, I really need to change my way."
Hard truth, but like let's say if somebody comes in and when they're doing their intake, they say that they smoke. Automatically, it pops up a task for me to have to go in their room at 2:00 in the morning and wake them up and be like, "Oh, come to talk to you about stopping smoking." I mean, these are adults; they know smoking is bad for them. And I offer help. I usually, like, if they're sleeping, I just leave them whatever literature they make me leave and chart it off. But I try to say, hey, I know you probably tried to quit smoking or don't want to quit smoking, but if you have any questions, my name's Jeff. Look me up. I'm in respiratory. Instead of saying, well, you have to do this or you have to do that, because, it's just telling adults what to do is so condescending sometimes. It comes off shitty no matter what.
Yeah, and you try to help people and they don't want to listen. And that's what I mean. And then when it's at the end and they've fallen and they can't get up and they're upset at you because you didn't do enough. It's a vicious cycle. And there are good people. And there's some things that I've heard even this week. And I know you can agree with me. I've seen some, and I actually know some people now currently, a female, and this person thinks that they're not pretty or they're not good looking because somebody said something to them. And I hear that a lot. I've been hearing that a lot from a lot of people, like this inside stuff where you're just kind of, and they begin to believe what they hear.
Yep.
Right. And you see through it. And sometimes you see the heart of those people and they're actually good people. And when you hear that, it hurts you because you don't want someone to feel like that about themselves. So you obviously met my neighbors. Remember them, Jeff?
Yeah.
Sean and Tara. So unfortunately, Sean's father passed away recently. And he went through and got me some stuff that belonged to his father because he knew. Look at this.
That's
These
awesome.
are comic books because he knew how important they were to this place, the man, or what I like.
Oh, that's dope.
I was really pretty touched by it, man, and I thought that was really awesome that somebody would do that.
Without a doubt.
This is Led Zeppelin. Look at this one here.
Are those comic books? What are those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's kill it.
Wow.
So look at this one. This is an amazing one here.
Oh, nice.
The Osborne. Oh my God.
So when I saw that, man, I was pretty touched. I mean, those kind of people to do that, to give that to that. I mean, that's a.
What are the dates?
That's a big thing. I'm even scared to open them. I'm sure. We got Sabotage now. Look at that, Jeff.
Oh, dude, great album.
Yep, Sabotage. Well, I'm gonna say great. The original. I don't have this album. This is
love that. Killers.
Yep, it is definitely an original. No, this is Iron Maiden. The original Iron Maiden.
Oh, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, right before Killers. Still the same lead singer. Black Sabbath.
Awesome,
right?
dude.
Wow.
Heaven and Hell.
And then this.
Rock and Roll Over, man. I knew I saw that at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, he wrote all what that is and everything. He wrote it all down. Genuine import. So it's a German edition. So this is going to go on display in a manner. I just think that kind of stuff is cool. And that's the little things. Like I said, it doesn't matter, dude, that how people are, how they view stuff. It's people like that you need around you, because if you don't have that in your life, friends, family, or whatever, then that's what I mean. You lose, you'll lose. You're going to lose out.
It's the little things, man. That's what makes life worth living.
And when you see someone doing stuff and it's I don't know, just sad. There's some sad things, and the world's just propagating all that sadness, and that has to stop.
Yep.
Agreed.
I have found that not scrolling through any social media and just doing what I have to do to post and be done, and like putting my phone away, has been the most glorious satisfaction I've had in weeks.
It does.
And being more present, honestly, it's been so nice.
We had a fire the other night. We had a fire here the other night. Go ahead, Brittany, finish. I'm sorry. I want to touch on it before we're over the show.
No, you're
talk
fine.
about what the story was about.
You got a fire.
Go ahead. I'm good.
Well, you saw the story, right? What did y'all see?
Yeah, well, it looked like Cody was having a meltdown on the ground. So I was like, what the fudge is wrong with Cody now?
Our neighbors, or our neighbor, she's like, hey, will someone do the challenge? Because she's kind of a sadist.
I know.
She likes to see people suffer, right? She brutalized Daniel one night, verbally assaulted him to where he had to go change his pants. And then she wanted someone do the challenge, and Cody's like, I'll do the one chip challenge. All he had to do was eat it and keep it down an hour, right? I had without eating or drinking.
He's got to go.
And he did it a full hour. He didn't budge. He chewed it up and swallowed it and sat there an hour. About an hour and 10 minutes in, he's like, I'm starting to feel it in my stomach, and it was really stabbing him. He comes back out. He goes, Uncle Troy, I do not feel good. And he fucking blasted. He was projectile vomiting.
Like the exorcist.
You could hear him too. It was like,
yeah.
I mean, and he felt better, but he did it a whole hour. He did win the title. He did not drink. He did not. I have it all on film. He legit, huh?
He did it.
Oh my God.
Props.
He did do it. He did do it. The whole thing. And he sat there and he goes, and let me tell you, when he looked at, you'll see, and I filmed it, and I will post it on the channel. I'll put it on the YouTube channel here. And on TikTok, I'll do a couple clips on TikTok because that's where he does the smell challenges and all that. But he did that one, dude, and he was sweating like profusely. He was so hot, he was sweating. His lips were burning. He was, you could tell his skin was on fire.
Oh my!
He sat there a whole hour, dude. A whole hour.
I don't know how he could
I
do
do
that.
too, because I would have died.
I couldn't have done it. There's no way.
There's no way.
He did it the whole hour,
way.
and his body just broke down.
Yeah.
But he won the title, and so they said, okay, well, I guess they got him the fire gummy bear that he has to try next.
5 times hotter than that chip.
So I have this stuff called the bomb.
No.
It's evil red hot sauce, and I had Daniel here, and he's probably watching. And it smells like barbecue sauce. And I told him, take a very little, do not take a lot. So he took this little bit in the cap. He puts it on his tongue. He had a meltdown. He was making out with ice cream like it was his first time losing his virginity. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, and he's so dramatic. Oh, my God, you should have seen him. Over just touching a little droplet on his tongue. That's some hot shit right there.
That's stuff that's messed up. I hate those challenges. I won't do any of those kind of challenges. No.
You're gonna have to up the stakes now. That hot sauce needs to be poured directly on a butthole.
Oh.
That's
I'm
it.
sure it'll make its way there eventually.
No, it's got to go straight there now. It gets a dropping right on there, and you have to hold it. You might even have to while you work and work it in there. That's a challenge.
Japanese flag.
It is, but that's a challenge. You know, you have to wink it because you can't squeeze real tight so that just the starfish touches. You got to get that center filled. So you'd have to wink it. That's a challenge.
I'm gonna pass on the one chip butthole challenge or whatever the hell we're doing.
Dude, if I'm telling you right now, as disgusting as we are as a country, if I promoted a pay-per-view on that, I guarantee you we would all retire tomorrow. We would all retire.
It'd be totally full. You know what? Yeah, that's how do you stop that from burning?
What is Satan's toe? Reptile Encounter said had Cody try Satan's toe. What's Satan's toe? Is that a hot sauce?
Pepper, right?
I think it's
or is it a pepper?
Yeah, it's not that pepper, and it's in like a package. If I'm mistaken, retype that up. That'd be really, really cool.
Satan's toe.
Do you guys remember a long time ago? There was a woman that she was like, it was by accident. But she would actually go to the store and she would try different fruits and then tell people what are really healthy, what are really good. And she would do different vegetables and fruits. Then one time she grabbed,
that's right.
She grabbed it was she was going through habanero pepper. And she thought it was like a cherry or something. She said, I don't remember what she said.
Yeah,
but this is a video.
Round.
It was viral for years and it still cracks me up. And she is in the middle of eating it and it just hits that back of her palate and she loses her shit. It is the funniest video. I'm going to search for it tonight and I'll send it to you guys for us to watch. It was an older video. This is probably 15-year-old video. Hilarious. Okay. It is one of the best. And her reaction, she's getting mad at her husband. He's off camera trying to get her something to drink. And she's like, give me water. And she drinks water, but it only washes
worse.
It makes it.
She spreads out the oils and shit.
Give me milk.
Right.
Her reaction is classic. It was one of the best viral videos of 15 years ago. It was the best.
I suppose I'd rather have kids eating.
Really good. You ain't kidding, Reptiles. Satan's toe is the bomb. Now, Sean, I know that
Tara's a lollipop.
All excited, and she's probably already Amazon that, and it's in her cart.
Toe of Satan challenge.
It's called the Toe of Satan challenge. So I know you're putting that in your cart. I'm going to check with you guys when we get off here if you've got that in your cart.
The toe of Satan.
I don't know if I can do the
I'll
toe
have
of
Ruby
Satan.
Do it.
I'd like to see Brittany try it.
Hell no, I can't. Do you realize that? Let me explain something to you tonight. How am I?
Spicy for me, darling.
I can't do it. Like John got these sausages that are like they're by the I think they're Publix brand. I'm not really sure, but they're like stuff. Like this one was tonight was like burrito. I think it was for the sausage. So it's like a bunch of mixings in it. But it's like chicken sausage or whatever.
Everything else.
But anyway, who knows? But anyway, but I'm like eating it and I'm like, is this spicy? And he's like, no, it's not spicy. Like my nose was sweating. I don't handle yeah, but I don't handle Mexican food well. Like I can't be super spicy. If something is like spicy and you see like the little, little pepper, like when you go to Mexican restaurants, you see the pepper next to it, so you know it's gonna be spicy. I can't touch it. Like I can't do it. Like my nose sweats. I mean, like parts of my body start sweating. Like I get really hot. Like it's not good for me. Like I don't handle spice.
I sweat with spice.
Well,
I love it.
What?
I sweat with spice, but I still love it. Like when I eat the habanero, the mango habanero wings from BWW's, that fucking gets me pouring sweat, but they're so goddamn good.
Ugh, I can't do it. I can't.
Hot, even just plain old hot buffalo. Oh my god, so good. That's what blue cheese is for, to cool that shit down.
Brent has found some new stuff. He's found hot suppositories and things like that for challenges.
Hot suppositories. Who the fuck would even invent a hot suppository?
Is it by Johnny Knoxville? Just curious.
Don't try this at
Johnny right, would do it.
I texted everybody. It says hot ones. I was just because I brought Brett into our
with his new phone.
So that we can send everything to the same place when we do it. So just so he's on there now. Yeah. So he can actually now on this on our thread here for talk show stuff, he can actually send stuff like hot suppository, vaginal melts. What else were there?
I don't know. They had a whole page.
The whole page.
Kara says when she looked up the gummy bear, she wanted to get Satan's toe.
When I looked up the gummy bear, I wanted to get Satan's toe, but she's on here now. Look at her. God dang, she ain't even going. You talk about hot stuff.
But I couldn't remember the name of it.
Child, I'll get on there now. Let's find that stuff.
Yeah, Tara, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
Well, you know now. Do you have it in your cart, Tara? But yeah, so that's those challenges are like I would never do them. So I don't know about you, Jeff, but I would never do them.
God,
not me.
No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah, well, hot suppositories could be like a good defense against prison rape. Think about it.
That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea, actually, Jeff.
Yeah, but you have to get over your fiery butthole. But I'll tell you what, they'll never try to do it again.
I don't know, man. Why would people put gerbils in their rectum? They did that too.
Well, don't. Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Why would people say? Why would anybody do any of that? Yes. Why would you want to put a hot challenge suppository in your ass?
Because the world is just frankly sick. Nobody has limitations anymore. Nobody knows what a line is to stop and not cross anymore. It's just out the window these days.
I can't tell you how many people come in with accidental stuff up their asshole. It's like, oh, you tripped and fell and a lamp went up your asshole or whatever else, dude.
That's or a light bulb. You know what? I think we should try like a light bulb, a skinny one, and then turn it on. I'm gonna have Daniel try that this week because what if we can see it? What if his stomach started glowing like ET, dude? That would be awesome.
Oh my god, I can't.
I don't want to put a round one, Brittany. I mean, for Daniel, he's delicate. I would use one of those new skinny ones for the bathrooms. They're kind of shafty.
Shafty. What about a fish tank heater? Those are the right shape.
Yes, you hear that, Daniel? Start prepping, buddy.
Yeah.
You guys, what is wrong with boys? Boys and odd things. Like, what is wrong with you?
Bullshit, what you're saying. The difference between boys and girls is boys talk about it in public because they don't care. Women hide it. Okay. We don't have toy parties and stuff.
Old school. No, it's just like, that's just weird. Listen, first of all, I have never been to any girl party where they've been like, guys, there's like hot sauce suppositories. We should try.
No, we're not talking about hot sauce. We're talking about dildos and cookie combers the man in the boat room, and things like that. That's what I'm talking about. You call us
First of
scumbags,
all,
but you have meetings to buy
I
big
didn't
toys.
say scumbag. I just said, what is up with boys and weird, funny,
You're
weird
just-
things?
Women are
I
just
need
as
to know what a
bad.
cookie comber is.
Oh my God.
Women do cups of
Whatever.
cheese. They do all that stuff.
Cups of cheese? Wait,
Good,
where?
explain what that is. Don't act like you know what a cup of cheese is.
I only know what it is because
Yes,
you've done
you
it to me my
fucking
whole
do.
life.
You're lying. You're lying.
No, I didn't. Did you just? I said the only reason I know what it is because you've done it to me my whole life. That's what I said. It's where you fart in your hand and you cup it and you toss it at somebody. It's a cup of cheese.
Brittany
Oh,
I've had that in my face. I've had that in my clothes. I've had it in my cereal. I've had it in my drinks. I've had a cup of cheese my whole life.
on everything, bro.
That's an air biscuit or a hot muffin.
I had brothers.
Hot
What
cheese.
the fudge? I don't know.
What's a cookie comber, Troy? I need to know.
It's this thing, right? Goes around your hip, and it's got like this little hand thing on it. Like if this was the what we don't have, I won't use the language. And this thing, it goes back and forth like this. It goes, and then it goes back over. It's called a cookie comber. I saw it, dude. We also found one the other day for Daniel. What was it called?
Oh my God.
The Tugginator, dude. It was on Instagram, the Tugginator, and it showed it. And they like put a hot dog in there and showed how it worked the hot dog. It was real, Brittany. It was on Instagram ad came up.
The Tugginator?
Time with your hand at night. Try the Tugginator. And it's this thing, and it's got a
for research.
Obviously, the algorithm doesn't show me certain things for a reason.
Easy on button, and you like touch the button, and it's like whack, whack. I'm like, oh my God, how could you?
I looked it up. Hold on.
How could you last?
I'm like, oh my God.
The Tugginator. I can't find the Tugginator.
The Tugginator.
Oh, Tugginator.
It's a Tugginator. Yes, Jeff. I'll send it to you, man. Like it was so good. I thought about getting one.
You sent me the article, not the Tugginator.
And Brett, all for Christmas presents. Everybody might get one.
Oh God.
Did you ever figure out who's
they have a headache that often? It won't even matter. He'll have the Tugginator.
I still want to know who sent the torso.
You know, the best part of it is y'all know John. If we were on Christmas morning and he opened up a package and it was the Tugginator, just his face with that fucking shit-eating grin on his smile. Thanks, guys.
He would not know what to say.
That would be worth the money. He would fucking die. He would die.
He would die because it normally would be around our whole family, and he would not know what to do. Try
it out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny. Give it a shot. Go look it up in that big bathroom you have. But yeah, it was just funny that those things were out and about. But yes, I guess guys are a little more weird, but shit's funny to me, dude, like that. Like,
I mean, it's nothing bad. I'm just saying it's just funny
Nobody
to me.
can deny that bathroom humor isn't funny.
No, bathroom humor is funny.
It is funny.
But why did we make like a taboo on like farting in public and stuff? Why is that such a big thing? It makes it funnier because everybody gets so worked up. They're like, oh my God, that guy he puff toned on aisle 2, and they get worked up, But just those fart videos, those guys with the hand things, that's hilarious, dude.
Oh, like the putty?
Yes, they're like, and people look around. He's like, "Oh, excuse you," and he's like, "That was you." No, and and some people laugh, and some people get. I've seen your show, and then they're having a good time. And every time you watch that, you don't think about anything negative. You're just waiting for someone to respond in a hilarious way,
Yeah.
Some of the old ladies will start singing "Hallelujah." You feel better, and that makes me laugh. Or bless you, honey. Bless you, darling. When they do that,
hey, listen, listen. I'm not saying that I haven't had a fart machine and had some fun in my days in the middle of City Walk because I have. So,
that would be fun.
Oh, fart machines are the shit. They piss
me off. It was a fart machine, but my friend, Troy, so Mike would have the remote, and so I had the fart machine. He started it first, and then it was my turn to do it. So like, I would go sit by random people, and then I would never know when he was going to hit it to go off. So I'd have to wait to react, and people would either like stare and get up and walk away, or they would be like, "Are you okay?"
I'd laugh.
I just ate something really bad at the Mexican place. Just don't eat there tonight. And like, I'd get up and walk off, but they wouldn't expect it from me
like
because
the real tight semi-dry ones too. I like
it's great. It had like 10 or 11 different sounds on it. Like
they got new ones now. They're more high tech.
They got new ones. I'm gonna find one right now.
Yeah, they were great. Go to City Walk and do it because let me tell you what, The
Yeah,
people
Dan,
at
Humor
City
Bagel, I
Walk
watch
did
them all the time.
not know how to respond. Like they were just like,
Humor Bagel is probably the best at it. He's one of the best comics like that does that stuff. He goes to the parks. Yeah, y'all better definitely check out some Humor Bagel. And I'm not doing that because he wanted me to shout him out. He's just good at what he does. But if we get a good one like that, we'll go do that with you, Brittany. We'll go to the store and do it.
you gotta go to like.
Well, what I want you to start doing is looking at him in the eyes like this. And don't break view and just do it. Look
Just
them right in the
at 'em,
eyes.
and then when they look back at you,
Yep. That's all you got to do.
just nod your head. That's it. Don't smile.
I will go with you and I will film it.
We know, Daniel. You got to get your finger out of there.
Yeah, these range from $30 to 10.
That's
oh
good.
yeah, they're not. Somebody put a fart machine inside when I worked as a an animated character at Universal. A friend of mine didn't know it when I was a penguin. Put the fart machine, taped it to the back of the inside of my penguin suit. So I was out on set with like doing interactions, and all of a sudden it was like, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't get to it."
Isn't that funny? That's what I mean. That's funny.
Well, that was the years that it was like we couldn't get in trouble. It was too fun. That was when it was fun to be in entertainment. Like it was good times. I mean, we did get in trouble. We got called into an office, but none of us snitched. We all got called into an office, and it was like,
with the way Daniel farts, if we all get arrested, we do not want to be anywhere near him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He farts. His farts are mating calls for young men in jail. Is what his are.
Oh
it's terrible, Jeff. If you heard it, you're like, wait a second now. Might have to contemplate.
Lord God.
Pretty bad. So yes, he is always locked and loaded. He does it all the time. I have to ask him to stop because it pisses off the birds. But
I think this has gone off kilter.
What's that?
It's off the rails now.
It's full off the rails. Farting in public, fart machines. What can we do?
Well, we were talking about
horrible challenges.
You get the serious dumb shit out of the way, and then you do the other shit.
Dick and fart jokes. That's what life's about.
That's right. Humor, man. You got to have some humor and have some good stuff.
Yes.
We were talking about, weren't we talking about if people get hurt? It's funny when people get hurt, right?
Well, social experiments have always been like that, whether they touch you, whether they make you laugh, whether they make you think.
Yeah.
Social experiments are always good, man. And we're just focusing on the funny ones. And farts are funny.
That's true.
Yeah.
Farts are funny. Farts bring people together.
Actually, in my experience, farts tear people apart because everybody makes a run for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
We like to watch from afar.
The best thing is you get them in the elevator, or in a car. You roll up the windows, turn the heater on.
Yeah, but you have to make sure that the day before you get some fuel. Like you want to eat a lot of tuna that day, hard-boiled eggs,
Fritos,
half a quart of milk. Then go jogging. Then get in the car.
Chili.
Get that temperature up, man.
Get it all mixed
fucking peel the tint off windows if that's what you want, and lock them in, dude. Lock them in.
It's awful.
Humor. Daniel says he hates tuna. We know. That's why you're still in the predicament you're in. Anyways, thanks again for coming out with everybody. We appreciate it. We're about 18 minutes into the over the hour that we normally do, and it's been fun. And
it was a good 18 minutes, though.
Coming in, we're 18 minutes past our hour. Can you believe that?
Good.
Best 18 minutes of the show.
Greg, that's the best, dude, right there. Smells like popcorn. Everybody will pull it in. What?
Greg, I hope you see you at the Tampa show, buddy.
Get that long pull.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. So we appreciate everybody coming out and seeing us again and hanging out. As always, we love it. So and the comments have been good tonight, and people have had a lot of funny things to say, and we've been up and down, and which is what it's about. And so thanks again for coming, and hope nobody's feelings were hurt.
Mine always are.
Thanks for watching the Motley Fart Show.
That's right. We're going to sign out, and we will see you guys next Thursday. Thanks again.